We are starting. Here Milena played black and Sasha played white. Milena, as usual, starts with Tengen and then Takamoku, very much of an influence strategy. White approaches, black plays this knight's move, then attachment, and what to do now. In the game we see a very simple variation. Just Hane, connect, and white also answers. It's possible also to Tenuki here, but this exchange is very big, very valuable. So this is a good move, yes. Black has also other options. It's possible to cut white stones. One way is like this, and this move, I believe, that some of you remember from lectures of Chosok Bin 16 years ago on Polish Summer Go Camp. Hane, then push, and then there are some very complicated josekis like that, then push again. The order of moves is very important, so I'm not sure if I show it correctly. If black gets into this point, well, black lives, but white can go out quite nicely. Also, it's good to know what happens if white plays this exchange first. This might be actually difficult for black to deal with. So what should black do? Maybe black should play this one. Maybe yes, maybe this one. And then if white plays here, then black will be happy to live. White might have a better move around here. And yeah, who knows? But Chosok Bin's conclusion was that white has a very nice extension to the side. And that's why he proposed to play a large knight's move as black. And then if white attaches, to just cut and go into the same variation like this. And now this knight's move is better located than the Kosumi. Perhaps it's a bit better located. I also enjoyed a lot when AI appeared and told us what to play in this situation. So it just said that Tenuki is a good move because actually black's move doesn't put much pressure on white's stone, and even if black continues, white still has a lot of ways of creating a living shape around here. Well, I don't know which, but for sure many ways. If black plays from this side, white can always play like that, for example. Yeah. So after this move, you can just play elsewhere. But after this move, it's a bit more difficult to play elsewhere. The pressure is a bit bigger. So white usually does attach. And then what to do? This is one option, but it's not really often seen. I think a more common move is this bump. Maybe you don't know it. White needs to protect, and then black can cut. What can white do? White needs to capture the stone, but then black can get this Atari and these moves. This is an even result. Black gets a very nice influence, but white gets a big corner in center. By the way, it's also possible to play here and keep that Atari for later, for a co-threat, because white is not really likely to play this exchange. But I think it's safer to play the Atari. Yeah, so good to know this Joseki because it's a bit of a one-way street. It's beautiful. Shapes are beautiful afterwards. But in the game, we have this simpler Joseki and then black extended on the bottom side, creating a moyo. A more common move nowadays is this attachment. If we really want to build a formation on the bottom side. So white's correct move locally is to play from the corner, but then black can change the direction and build a big moyo. Or like this. Well, isn't it beautiful for black with the Tengen stone? Maybe Milena was concerned that white might go to this side. However, this is locally a bit better for black, so I think that black shouldn't be too concerned, even though this influence is not that useful now for building anything. It already got used once to get a better local result on the right side. And it will be used more times in the game. Influence doesn't need to be used right away. You should be patient when you play for influence. So this is a possibility, but Milena probably preferred this type of a Moyo game, so didn't want to give Sasha a choice. Then another Joseki, and again, Milena chooses a Joseki with a wall. So now black has so many fourth line stones, and then plays this move. Well, it looks good. It's of course a big move. Black might play differently. Black might expand the Moyo, but this is for sure good, and especially if white answers, then we are happy with such an exchange, and we will continue building our Moyo. However, white didn't answer. White played an attack on black on the top. Black pushes, white jumps, and then, well, what to do? Should we play like this? Well, this would give white a bit too many stones on the outside. So Milena chooses a knight's move, going down to the second line. But this doesn't put any pressure on white, and white finds this moment for playing elsewhere and for answering black's move. But can we not answer this move? Because actually, if we have a stone at A and a stone at B, then the peep at C is very annoying for white. So can we not answer white's move? Of course we can, of course. Why not? Is white putting such a big pressure on the top? Of course, it is some pressure. If white gets another move, then our 3 stones will need to jump out. But then they will jump out, so what? White will have a bit easier way of building a group on the top. But isn't the move at C putting more pressure? If we can get something there in center, then it would be really good for black. So black can play here. If white plays this one, then I think black can just go back. If white plays this, then this is very risky for white. White's shapes will get crushed. So probably the best way for white is in the end to play this calm variation, but then black plays the tiger's mouth, and can white tenuki now? Well, then white's group will be in quite considerable trouble. White doesn't have 2 eyes. Completely no. No 2 eyes for this group. And black has Tengen. And Tengen will be for sure useful in such a running fight. So black can get a lot of points, and later black will go back to that fight on the top after getting an influence and points on the bottom. So all in all, I believe that white might end up answering. But if white does answer, then these are for sure good exchanges. All right. Now white was the active one, the one to play on the bottom. Black answered, white extended, and then theoretically we can think of cutting white, but somehow black didn't like this option. Why did black not like it? Because of the 4th line territory? Maybe, but we also get really a lot. It's very well aligned with our overall strategy. So maybe actually black shouldn't be afraid of this variation and should just use the weakness of white's shape. White didn't play here. This would be nice for black. White left a weakness, and maybe we should use it. Otherwise, will we get a good result? Will we? And is this an option? I think I like the other one better. I think I like this one better because here black's shapes are just too fragile on this side and on this side. In the game, black just answers, but then white pulls back. And now it's much worse for black than if white pulled back immediately and black got a chance to play at B. So now black tries to use center and play in the corner, but then white plays a very beautiful sequence, which, well, strengthens black, but also strengthens white very, very much. So now white becomes super strong, already kind of 2 eyes, and continues with this attachment to attack black. Is it obligatory to answer this move? Probably yes. If we don't, then where do we play? Here, white can go like this, and black is captured. Maybe like this better, but also not sure. So I think this was a good sequence by white. Maybe it's not necessary to play it all through, unless, well, is there some reason? Anyway, black can play this one. So I think there is no reason. And then this attachment, a bit unusual. We want to attack a group and we attach to it. But it's very difficult for black to answer. If black just focuses on making life, then sure, black will manage to make life, but white gets too much on the outside, will later destroy black's moyo and even build his own box. So black chose a different variation, but then white got a lot of points in the corner. Black also got something in exchange, so I think that all in all, it might be not a bad deal for black, but I think that the game is generally a bit better for white now. This is not completely points yet, but it might become points. It's 20 plus a few, maybe up to 25 points around here, 35 up to 40, 50, 65 for white plus Komi, 70 points. And black has 14, 20, plus a few, 25, let's say, 35. So black needs, okay, plus a bit here. Black needs to get, well, at least 30 points now from the top side influence. It's not an easy task. Maybe it's possible. Maybe the game is not yet good for white, but for sure black needs to prove something. But if I was white, I think I would still not attach, but play a calmer move, because I am not afraid of white going out, of black going out, since white is so strong on the other side. And if we go into such a variation, then black's potential in the center will be completely destroyed and white will get a lot of points. So yes, white will not get this corner, but does white need it? If white is already alive, or like almost 100% alive, then taking another 15 points from the corner might be actually not worth it. I mean, wait, I went back too much. This variation, it might be not worth it. It might be actually a positive exchange for black. Yeah, then black tries to build moyo maximum, but maybe a move like this might be better. I wouldn't be too afraid of white going around here because the Ponuki is so strong, and now white will have much bigger trouble with bigger trouble with managing the topside group. Yeah, and like this we leave a bit too much space for white. So now white uses this space. How to do? How to attack white? This is an interesting moment of the game. By the way, it seems that I have as much observers as in the afternoon stream. Well, this one was also not really announced. It was I am creating this stream earlier on IGLO YouTube, but I will post the links to the streams earlier, and also all subscribers should be able to see it. At least if they log into YouTube at the time when the stream goes. All right, and then going back to the game, interesting position. Where is now a move which will give black some hope? Where to get these lacking 30 or 35 points? So I would say that black has some potential here. And also the left side is generally untouched. Of course, if we kill, then we can get 35 points, but this might prove a very difficult task. But from which side to play? I think that black's move from the game was a big mistake. Black played here, but what does this move do? Here there are no points to be taken neither by black nor by white. Well, white can take a few points, but these are points taken from a living group, very uninteresting, and also not too many of these. So if we play from this side, then it should be better to play here to put more pressure on white's group. But it might be an even better idea to play here or here to already enclose white's group, and then, well, white might be able to make twice. I don't argue with this. And white might also try to run out, but there is not much where to run out. So why do we need to play a move around here if white anyway will have trouble with running out? And then let's say that white somehow makes life. If we can enclose white in center, then I think we can still later continue the game with a move around here, perhaps. Still, it might be difficult to get enough points, but I think that this is a better chance. And maybe instead of this move, really that Kosumi to give less of an eye shape to white. Not sure. But this move, it seems too easy for white. Now white goes out. Black tries to not let white connect his groups. But white just managed to go down to the side. And well, black gets something, but it is 20 up to 25 points. So probably it's not enough, especially that white also gained something by connecting on the side. So the game should be better for white. And then an interesting thing happens because, well, yes, there is still this agi around here, and maybe it's a good time to use it because white just played a move which might in the future threaten black's group. So black decides to perhaps help it actively, not to just play such a move, but to play here and, well, perhaps threaten making an eye on the side or just get good exchanges in center, endgame in center. So white goes for the call. And of course, where there is a call, there is a chance for many things to happen. So black plays a threat, white plays a threat, and black decided to not answer. Well, the call might be a bit difficult for black because black actually risks something. But, well, black risks losing maybe 10 points, and also it might be in white center. Maybe now black needs to add a move. So black needs a few big threats. That's why in the end black doesn't answer white's threat. But then a strange thing happens. Black continues. So, well, black doesn't want to spend yet another move here. It would feel already a bit slow, especially that white is rather safe with that group. So black continues there, but then white can retake, and, well, black is basically forced to take the stone, which in the end looks not as magnificent as we hoped it will. And white split black, and in fact, maybe black's group might be in a little bit of danger afterwards. So black decided that this is a bit too bad, and at this point played Atari, and then white didn't answer. Black captured, but white captured. So the ko is finished now in white's favor. Black gained something on white's threats, which were not used in the end, on the top, but also lost something around here. So the overall result is probably rather even. Maybe actually black gained a bit more, provided that black will be able to retake the ko and force white into playing this move, which is basically like how it should be, because now white risks much more on this ko. However, maybe white actually has some threats. White might play here. Annoying. Where should we play? Let's say here. And then where are black's threats? Is this a threat? Well, it doesn't threaten anything big, but also white doesn't threaten anything big by winning the ko. Or like we might now connect back, but still I think that black needs to continue the ko, to not let white capture yet another stone, to force, we cannot play there, force white into this shape. Then black, I think, gained a little bit and, well, of course, can still continue the game. But in the game, black just resigned, decided that this ko is not possible to win, and just added the move, which gave white the chance to finish the ko. And yes, now this move looks quite needed, but it would be better if we can play threats and then skip playing that move, thanks to strengthening the group by winning the ko. I mean, by capturing it and forcing white into an uncomfortable connection at A. So right now the game should be rather decided. White should have more. An exchange center for the bottom has happened, but after some moves, Milena resigned. Yes, so I think this is it about this game, and we can move to the next one. Sasha won all his games in Group A, so it's nice that he went back to playing in IGLO after many season break. He will be a good competitor here. And now